Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy Thanksgiving, guys. Happy Turkey Day. Want to say hey to all my subscribers, new as well as season. Got a word for you. Tap in. Guys, I don't have long. I only have about 5 minutes. I want to get this in really quickly because I can't respond to the emails that are coming in right now. So I've gotten at least 7 emails in regards to the community post that I posted. And all glory to God. It shifted people's perspective, if you will. There were people messaging just saying that initially they were feeling all sad and depressed about Thanksgiving, and they're just not doing their normal thing, and they're just kind of like in this space where they're just not. And so when they read the post, it really uplifted them and changed their perspective. Where guys, that's very important, changing your perspective on things, because Satan, he's so tricky. He will have you looking at things in a certain way. So when he does that to you, you have to change your perspective in the way that you see it. So really quickly, okay, so it first started with my dad. My dad called me earlier, and he's typically the person who would go and get plates from everywhere. Whoever's cooking, he's gonna go get a plate. So he was just telling me that he's in this space where it's like he wants to just protect his peace, right? And so after chatting with him for about an hour today, that's when I started to receive a lot of emails from people, even text messages. People were just saying that they're not doing anything big. They're kind of home, or even if they're like with family, they're keeping it very minimal, right? Like more so that's like immediate family versus like these large family events typically that people have for Thanksgiving. But most people I've spoken to or who I've read their email, they're in this posture where they're protecting their peace. They just feel something in the spiritual realm to just have them just like in almost like chill mode. Well, here's the thing. Here's what I got into my spirit when I was reading these emails and then chatting with my dad. Those of you who hear me very carefully right here, because this is where it's going to all make sense. Those who've been doing their work, as Pastor Felix said, with your head down. Have you been at your desk doing your work with your head down? Those of you who've been doing your work, you're about to give birth. Doors are going to open, boom, suddenly. So what's happening is God have you in this posture that he wants you to protect your peace, because he knows that any given day now, certain doors are going to be open, and he needs you to be in a peaceful position to be able to receive everything that he's giving you right now. If anybody have been still today, downloads have been coming in all day. So sometimes on the journey, you're going to have to be okay with not doing things that everyone else is doing. Because remember, everyone else is not on this very, very narrow path that you're on. People are just doing what people are doing. They're with thousands of people. They're, probably acting a fool, right? With their family, having a great time. But God has you someplace else. And so because it's quiet, because no one is calling you, because you're not getting invites like you typically do, you're seeing it as you're not worthy. You're seeing it as no one wants you, versus changing that perspective. This is all God right now. Now, that may have been in the past, and it still may be some of that, but you have to see it, that this is a shift spiritually. God needs your posture to be in a place of solitude, to be in a place of peace. You could end up at these big events, family functions, and maybe friends from school and X, Y, and Z. And some of these will be the same exact people that God required you to cut off throughout this process, throughout this journey, prior to him opening the door. So now if you start getting all these invites, right? That's the enemy. Because now you go, and what happens? You start connecting back with these same people, the very same people that God required you to put boundaries up. Now, before you know, you're all back entangled, and guess what? That's a trap. Because if the door is about to open suddenly, now all of a sudden, the distraction is the individuals who God required you to put boundaries up or to cut off for whatever reason. You have to be in a position to receive. So for a lot of you, the direction you had today was not even about eating, 5,000 calories of all that foolishness, right? That was not even your direction. Your direction was to get in that word. Your direction was to start back writing that book. One of you guys said that in the comment section. Your direction was to make sure that you keep your mind at peace. Your direction was to not answer the phone. Your direction was to say okay and not go back and forth with someone. Whatever. Your directions was typically different today than they were last Thanksgiving or last holiday. But you got to stop seeing it as, it's the trigger. It's the triggers coming back from the rejection of the chosen ones in the past, right? The triggers are coming back from being left out and being the afterthought. The triggers are coming back because they only call you when they need something, right? Those triggers are coming back. And so that's why you're feeling sad. That's why you're feeling depressed. That's why you're feeling lonely. That's why you're feeling not worthy enough, not good enough. Change that perspective, my friends. Change that perspective. You are about to give birth. And anybody who's aligned, who've been, again, all caps, doing their work, please be in a posture to receive. God is about to move. And if you are aligned, you feel it and you know. So this is why he don't have you doing the nonsense typically that you, not always nonsense, but whatever, the distractions that you typically do. He has you doing things that he had you doing for the last 6 months, for the last 5 years. He's having you tie up loose ends because you're about to give birth. I'm not the one who believes in, the new year this and the new year. No. God moves daily. He moves hourly. He moves by the second, right? So I'm not speaking about, because the new year is coming in. For some, maybe. It may be a new year per se, but it can be tomorrow. But are you prepared? Are you prepared? So get up out of that bed, right? Get up off of that couch. Whatever you're doing, get up. Change your perspective. God needs you back on course. Don't worry about those folks. They're doing what they've always done. They've never included you. They've always left you out. You always were the black sheep. When you get there, you're the target, right? So God is trying to reserve your peace because you have to be in expected mode. But are you ready? It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.